Today on the workbench I've got a new project here, and this is for me. This is an MDC Boxcab, and I got this off of eBay. But I saw an interesting article on updating one of these using the Northwest Shortline's Stanton drives. So I've got two of these Stanton drives. They're both powered, and I'm going to put them in this. I'm going to remove everything that's in this and put these Stanton drives, and then I'm going to put a decoder in it. And this is just one of those projects that I'm going to do just because I can or want to. So these are fairly simple to take apart. The body just clips down onto these two little black pieces on this gearbox, but we're going to take it all apart and see what kind of fun we can have with it. Yeah, this I think this will be a interesting little project. So this is the number of the drive that I'm using. But let's go ahead and see if we can't get this apart so we no longer need this gearbox. So we'll just get rid of that. I say that. Easier said than done. Anyway, then we got to remove this motor and these gearboxes. I'm hoping, yep, they just snap in. Alright, that was easy. So you can just pull that. That'll get rid of those, and we're going to use, I'll use the side frames off of these. I wonder if I can get one of them off real quick. Without too much trouble, maybe. That is definitely glued on. And it did run. So there, that'll pry that off. Well, let's say I'm going to try to reuse these side frames. Maybe a little bit of modification there. But anyway, let's get back to the disassembly here. There it came. A little tight, but okay. Well, anyway, there's that. So now let's get back to, there's our gearbox. We can pull the screws out of this. I see why that one won't come off now. It's held on by the screw on the back for this pickup. Get rid of that one. That one. I think you can still get these kits online. You might run across a new one here and there. Oh, something I wanted to talk about too. I've noticed here recently, I went back through some of my old videos, and it looks like that YouTube has monetized some of them. I have never monetized any of my videos, so and I don't make any money off of the ones that they've put ads on, so feel free to skip all those. I want to keep putting this content out free, and because I know how much I hate it when I see ads when I'm watching videos. So I just thought I'd put that out there. I think I'm going to start putting that in all my videos from now on. Okay, that was some quick disassembly time. And let's see. Alright, now I guess all we have to do, I don't know if I'm going to be able to use, well, that was where the screw hole was. But I'm going to remove this part of the Stanton truck because I do not need that. But I am going to mark that. That way I'll know that this is the front. I'm just going to put an F on there. I should have just kept my knife out and scored that. Got it scored, but now I'll take some pliers here, just pop that right off, and then I'll hit it with a file. Actually, I use these emery boards. Great little things. Get them at beauty supply stores. So now I guess we're down to where do I drill the holes for that. I'm actually reading the article while I'm doing this. So I think but I can't use either one of those holes. I'll be able to run the wire up through, but that's too close. So I'm going to do a little study in here and then I'll be back. Alright, I've got my marks on where I need to put this, and let's see, so from each end I have come back 827 thousandths, 0.827. So you can see a little black dot there and a little black dot right there. Now and I've put it in the center, which is 0.325 or 325 thousandths. So now the instructions for the drives say to drill a 5/64 hole. Well, actually, the instructions for the drive says to drill a 4 millimeter hole. That's bigger than a 5/64. But I'm going to go with 5/64 right here. So I'm just kind of looking. I'm not sure how this. Let me pull these off so I don't. I was hoping it came off with this screw out, but that's just for the coupler. So let me pull these couplers off. I want to try to get these ends off here. So I'm going to change out these couplers anyway, I think. Yep. I don't want to be too rough with that. Alright, we'll leave it there. So now I need a 5/64 drill bit, and I can drill that out. And I'll probably have to go downstairs. Let's see, 5/64 is what? 781 10,000ths. I don't have. It's a number 40. It's between a 47 and 48. So I got to go get a bit. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I've got my 2 holes drilled, and I've got some alcohol out, cleaning this up. Get the grease out of it. So that's fairly good. Now we'll take and see how this drive fits in here. Once I get my pliers out. So I'm just pulling the screws off, or the nuts. Let's see how if it shows how this was mounted. So let's pull both of those screws off, or nuts, I mean. Get them all together. Pull that washer off. Can. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. And I want to keep them both oriented the same way, because they do have, these have motors in them. Or they're both powered, I mean. Let's say that. Let me get my other one open. And we'll get it set up on the rear. Take the two nuts off of it. And that first washer. Okay, now I want to snap this one off also. Score that, then I'll be able to break that right off. So there we are with that, and then I'm going to mark it, put a big F right there. Now I've got the directions out here on how to mount these. So I think I'm going to have to drill another hole that'll be big enough for my wires to come through up on that back side. Yeah. And I'll just make it the same as that one. So, but what'll happen is, if I can get them fed up through, actually I'm going to have to, I may enlarge that one a little bit. Okay, so I've got my holes drilled. I just need to drill holes for the wires. So I'll be back again. Alright, I've got my holes drilled in to where I can feed my wires up through. So let's go ahead and, yep, there, just dump the spacers off. I don't want to do that. So there's one side. We'll get our wires started up through. For some reason, I think I'm going to have to redo that front hole. But anyway, that's what it's going to look like. Because I'm too close for the wiring. So, and actually, I've got one of them on backward anyway. Yeah. So there's the front. And, yeah. Turn this around. I need to have both of these facing in the same direction. So let's go up through this hole with the wiring. We'll see what that does for us. Okay. That worked out better. So now we've got our drives on. And go ahead and put these screws on. Well, okay, so that's that. So we are good to go on our drives. And now we're ready to start wiring up the decoder for this thing. I will have to put these other 2 screws on, but I've got to figure out how I'm going to mount the side frames. So all of that's got to come off. I may just have to get a set of side frames. Because that's one piece, seems like. I'll have to pull off the copper or brass, but anyway, we've got a good little start on it here. I think for right now, I may just hook up a small decoder just to see what we've got. And I don't have one laying here on the bench. I'll have to dig one out. I can go ahead and, well, temporarily put all this together. Because I do want to put sound in this, and it'll have 2 lights, and that's really all that it'll be. So, and I'll put a keep alive in it because of the short wheelbase. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, we're back here with this MDC RoundHouse Boxcab, and I've got put the LED lights in it, and it's been a while since I've worked on this. So what I've got, of course, we've got 2 Stanton drives in here. These are both powered, and I mean, this thing is dead silent when it's running on DC. So I think it'll be really, really good on DCC. But I put the original side frames back on, and you know, I kind of ground them down to, there's 3 millimeters of clearance there, so they do clear the wheels nice. And then I glued those on with E6000. So now, and this is going to get 2 scale sound system speakers. And we'll put them on the end here, or 1 on each end. So I think this thing will sound really, really good. Of course, we got our Decoder Buddy we're going to put in it, and I'm going to use a ESU V5 decoder. And we'll put a ESU PowerPack in it. So basically, we are ready to wire this thing up. Now, of course, the way this is right now, it's set up for DC operation. I'm going to pull these pieces of heat shrink they've got off of here, and I think what I can do, and they've got that's soldered together, so I'm going to cut those, and I'm going to cut this set of black and gray, and then I want to make sure, I know the orange on each side is the wheel pickup, because I kind of tested that already. You can do that real quick on the bottom, but I want to test and make sure that it's just to make sure what my rail pickups are. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and strip these. And they'll both be the same. And we'll get out our meter. Yeah, I've had this thing, had it in some sort of condition for a while, probably a year. I finally got tired of looking at it. And I thought, well, I might as well work on it. So here we are. Let me get my meter out. Turn that on. So, what we're going to do, and I can actually see right here the yellow or the orange wire, and it should be tied right to that wheel. So let's do this. This is how we'll check these. Nope, that's a motor wire. So let's go with this red, because I can see the red and the orange on one side. Okay, so they do have it. The red is track pickup. Now this black should be track pickup. Yep. All right. So put the meter away. Now we know what's what. So I can go ahead and I don't want that wire. I want my red. And I'll cut this off. So I'll have cut about a ½ inch off of it. Go ahead and strip this again. Now, we'll go ahead and get some solder here. Touch them off. And we'll go ahead and hook them up while I'm here. Cut that off. Just a little bit. And of course this Decoder Buddy, zoom in a little bit here. I've already got it. The pads I'm going to use soldered. So we'll go right there with the track pickup. And there with the track pickup. Now, we'll do our other two track pickups. Get these out of the way. There is plenty of room to work in this, I will say that. But I'm going to keep everything as low as possible, just so it won't be in. I mean, we might see a little bit in the windows, but so now we've got more track pickup. And now we've got our motor leads that we'll have to run around, and I'll just leave them as long as they are, and I can hook them together. Because I do have them facing the same way, so we won't have to worry about them being opposite each other. Take and solder that together. So there's one side of the motor put together. Okay. There we have our motor wires. I'm going to loosen that one up a little bit. I've got that pretty tight on there, and it doesn't want to swivel very well. So that might be a little hard on the turns. But anyway, we have our motor wires. I'm going to put this up on the test track and I'll put a decoder on it. So I'll try it out here and see what happens. I'll be back. Okay, I did have the decoder on it, and it does run forward and backward. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mount this Keep Alive right here, or PowerPack, I guess I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my wires off. That'll give us plenty. Go ahead and strip these. Our white wire that turns this on and off, we'll hook that to aux 10. And our ground. And our function, well, or positive, I mean. So I'm going to go ahead and, instead of putting the flux on the wire, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the solder down here, since there should be plenty of solder there. One. Then the next one will be our red wire. If I can get it moved around here. Before you use those, you have to turn those on. So when we set up everything, we'll get it turned on. I think it's CV113 for ESU. But anyway, put a little alcohol here and clean this off. Clean the bottom of that off so we can put our double-sided tape. I've still got couplers to put on this. Of course, we still got our lights to hook up and our speakers to hook up, and I need to program or download the sound file for the decoder. So there's still several things to do, but for the most part, now what will end up happening is, and I should have waited, my speaker wires, that will be fine here. So put that in there. And I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I've got a steam locomotive running above me. Actually just sitting there idling. So there's that. Now we'll go ahead and we'll clean a little spot off on these speakers. Clean that off. That'll give our double-sided tape something to stick to. couple of pieces of that real quick. I have to order me some double-sided tape. So there's that one. I'll have to measure these and I'll tell you what size they are. I believe they're 11 by 15 by 9 is what I think they are. So finally got my air conditioner fixed out here. Did that this morning. I'd come out here, it would be oh 70 degrees, 72 degrees, but it'd be like 80% humidity. So clean the coils out on that. Seems to be working good. But anyway. So there's our speakers mounted. Now we'll take and get some, yep, I've got red wire right here. It's like our speakers are going to be wired in red. Of course I've got some, well, I've got some little pieces over there. Maybe I could use those. So what we're going to do here is go from negative to positive on this speaker. So we'll get this stripped off. Tin everything here. So negative to positive, and I cut that way too long. A little bit of flux on that. And I just run those wires right across the Decoder Buddy. No biggie. And then I'll take, yeah, this is plenty long. Of flux. Just a little bit off there. Just need to use this piece of red wire for our positive. Cut some of that off. I'm not sure if I can find a really good sound file for this. I've done a little research and might be able to download an Alco, forget what it was now, like a 539 for it. They were like 300 horsepower, non-turbo. So there's my speakers and PowerPack. Now all we got left is the lights. And I've got it set up. This is the front. This has 1,000 ohm resistors on the board. So I can go ahead and wire this up. And I think, well, I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take my 2 red wires, put them together. Well, nah, I won't do that. I can connect. What am I looking for? Will put me a little pool of flux right there to dip these in. This is my rear light. Do the same thing up here in the front. Okay, there's all of our wiring in. The only thing that's left to do is to program this. Well, put the decoder on it. But yeah, that's... So we'll get this on here. Of course, I've got to put the coupler on it yet. But anyway, I think I had bent one of those. I bent one of the pins. Pulling this off, easily fixed. So there's that. That body is held on there with those clips. Alright, there we are. So when I come back, I'll have the couplers on it and we'll have some sound in this thing. So I'll be back here in a little bit. Okay, we've got this little box cab up on the turntable here. And we'll go ahead and show you what the final product looks like. So we'll turn the headlight on there. And then we'll hit the startup sequence. So what I've put in this, downloaded an Alco, I think it was a 539 to put in this. This is the non-turbo version. So, and this is the horn that, one of the horns that came with that. And the bell. So let's go ahead and we're going to hit the drive hold on that. We'll start ramping this up. So you can hear it there going through a few of the speed steps. Of course, with our two scale sound system speakers, it's got a really good sound to it. This was a really good project. I really like this. And let's see. I do have a little room here. I'm going to move this just a little bit. These Stanton drives that I've got in this thing, they are as quiet as can be. So I've been running this back and forth on my test track, and I've probably ran it for about 2 hours total. And it does have good pulling power, and it is nice and quiet. So, but yeah, that's, of course, the only other lighting function on it is the rear light. That's it in a nutshell. All right. Thanks for watching.